Hello everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to be continuing with the powder coating stages of the e-bike hub testing station. So I have to run this 4K camera alongside the live stream as usual. So last week I applied the white powder, the white base coat. I should probably discuss this more when I turn the 4K camera on. So everything went well. Wee minor problems, but nothing serious. So the powder coating was all perfect, apart from whatever's in the air there falling. Not dust, but I'm not sure. It's like wee black speckles through the white base, but it's very, very minute. I'm going to remove them with the sandpaper in a moment, but as I say, it's nothing serious. I don't know if it was the... No, I don't think it was the grey primer or whatever might have been circulating in the oven itself. I'm going to give everything a nice hoover and blow out before I start applying the candy, because the candy is see-through, translucent, transparent. Okay. Just going to start the 4K here. Right, ready to rock, I think. So I need to keep gloves on me at all times here. So last week I applied the white base for the red candy. The project, the frames in the oven, it turned out very well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it outside here and start giving it a wee quick sanding before applying the red candy later on. So the tape, the high temperature tape's removed that night, Saturday night, last week. So it's important that I remove that tape when the object or this frame is still hot, or still warm. Just moving the 4K outside and get started here, right? So this is my custom powder coating oven and booth. Okay, so bear with me here. It's dull out here today, it's also cold. I'm going to have to put a coat on. So if you look at it this side, it looks really dark, right? So I'm going to go around this side so it looks much brighter, as you can see. So it turned out really well. As I mentioned at the start of the live stream, there was a few wee, if you look there closely, see that wee black speckle? It's I don't know, something fell on it when I maybe removed it for the second time out of the oven. I shouldn't have done it, but I'll be able to sand them out because they're quite they're just on the surface. So this had to be sanded anyway for the candy. So we're gonna get started here in a moment. Get a bit of coat on first. We're all ready to rock here. This cold day. So I'm going to keep the camera, the phone back a wee bit till I do a wee discussion with the 4K, and then I'll move it into view for everybody that wants to see closer what I'm doing here. So this is the second stage, moving on to the third stage. Okay, I'm gonna have to lower this because of the wind. So I'll probably do what I usually do, is use the 4K to hold the phone. Well, it's cool out here today. Okay, so the grit that I'm going to select for this is going to be 320 grit, and basically just go round and sort of wee circular motions here to remove, to flatten out that white base. It is really good. It is really good, but it's not perfect. So what do I see here? It's a very smooth finish. There's no orange pile. There's a gloss finish of it. I'm going to basically remove the gloss here now, the shine, for the next coat here, which will be a candy pounder. And I'm going to have to maybe cover this floor in water before I start applying the powder this week. I can't take a chance of anything landing on the white base before I start applying the red candy. Okay. So I'm going to maybe just bring the phone up as close as I can because of the wind. This serious at times here picks up. Right, there we go. Right, so my next step here now is getting a bit of sandpaper. Hold on a minute. I have to keep starting this one again. can't have too much footage. Okay. So the sandpaper that I'll be using, as I say, is 320 grit here. I need to make sure not to go near the mirror finish. So what I'm going to do, because this is the finished face here, see this mirror, there's about 12mm visible because I have removed the high temperature tape when the project was still hot. So that was important, because if I started removing the tape when the object or this project, this metal frame, was cold, the powder on the tape and the powder on this plate would have been more intact, and when I pull it, or if I did pull it when it was cold, it may have peeled the powder or chipped the powder on this sharp edge that I've created here. So it's important now that I get this right for the next stage here. So starting off with a wee strip of 320, and we're going to start off with this face. We need to make sure not to go through to the zinc primer here, the zinc powder coat. That's a slow process to get it perfect. So anywhere I see those little wee black speckles, I'm just going to focus on them to remove them here. Hence why I'm using 320 and not 600. Luckily they're at the top of the surface. I think they fell on it. They must have been sitting in the tracking system. And when I pulled this out of the oven for the second coat of the white base, I think that it fell off the reel that I didn't clean. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to, what do we see here if I'm on view? See that pulley system there? I'm going to dip it onto thinners too, before I start applying the candy here. So this might not come off because it's obviously this laggard on, that won't come off. So what I'm going to have to do here is maybe take it off here instead and dip it in. Well, it won't go in the tank. So I'll get a spanner here, shifter. And we'll take this off. Hopefully if it comes off. The powder coating now is acting like Loctite. I don't want to hit the frame with the shifter. So I might just have to take it off here instead. A bit safer. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the thinners. I'll try and get it off here on the bench. I'll just stop that other camera for the minute here. So as I say, I want to remove the powder, any powder in around these bearings. I just want to clean this before next time I put it on again. So what I'm going to have to do first is steep this powder coat in the thinners, because this is a stainless nut and it's a stainless bolt, and I don't want the nut to bind to the thread, so I'm going to dip it in here to let it break down that powder coat. I need to take it away from that frame too. Let me see. Well, that'll be right there, so I'll let it sit in there, right? And I'll get back to the frame here. Right. So this will probably take me about 2 hours. So that's that face done. I'll do this one in a minute. As I say, I need to make sure I don't go through to the zinc primer here, which is a powder too. So I'll continue on here on the live stream, part 21. Get this sanded for the next stage here. Get rid of the lower camera. So I need to be careful not to go through the grey, because it would look awful through the candy. If I did go through the grey, I would just powder coat it again, because want it perfect. But I won't go through to the grey. A wee circular motion to it. Try not to focus on these edges too much, because it will dig into the grey. So we're going to overhang this off the bench here a minute. We're going to focus on this tube going across. So as you can see, the finish is much better than paint sprayed. It's much thicker. You have more to work with here. So that looks really good there now. Unreal. Okay, so on to the next. We'll focus on them tubes first, and then we'll continue with the faces of the box section. So look how well the white looks against the mirror finish there. Might even leave it like that. You never know. I might. So just to point out here, when I go to tapeless now, the candy coat will be approximately 3 mil higher than the white line there. So when I apply the red candy to the stainless plate, it will flow down into that little sharp edge on the, well, it's not a sharp edge, but you know what I mean. It'll flow down into it, and it'll create like it'll feather it out, it'll smooth it out. You'll still see the white into the candy, but the candy will be see-through. So basically, the mirror finish will be seen through the candy powder. I might actually take the candy up 5 mil. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made my mind up. I will be doing that later on after this video. So I'll continue on sanding here, because if I don't, I'll be at this till tomorrow. So just going to bring out the other. So look at the welds, how smooth they are now. So I'm removing the shine here. But I'm also giving the candy a nice undercoat, a nice flat surface. Just gives us a better chance of this looking much better, rather than just putting the powder on top of it. I could have put this in the oven, heated it up to maybe 100 degrees and then put the powder on it again, but no, I don't like doing that. So any wee black wee bits that fell onto the surface when I pulled it out of the oven when it was hot are removed off that tube there now. So there was one here. So as I say, the powder coats that I put on this, the layers is quite thick, as demonstrated in the last live stream. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to focus on this face. No, sorry, I'm going to continue with these tubes. So this is a stabilizer tube. There will be a foot on the end of it, and this will also have a black cap on it, which will look well against the red candy. So when I'm talking about red candy here, I'll just give you an example of what a red candy looks like. So if you look at that caliper there in that car, that's red candy. Okay. It will look better in this. Or if you look at the intake manifold that I designed for a J32A2 Honda engine, you will see a nice, really deep red candy finish on it. On the Y piece that joins the two plenums together. That was really well finished. So hopefully this should look the same. So one coat of candy will look kind of, the darker the candy, the better looking, believe it or not. I was going to do it in candy purple, but I changed my mind. I have candy purple there. Candy purple's nice too, but I think the candy red's nicer. So on to the stabilizer now, we'll bring this out away from the bench. So just to point out here, I've got little screws stainless bolts screwed into the rivet nuts where the feet will be placed, so no powder can get in near them, near the threads. So I'm going round a wee circular motions here, just knocking off the top of this layer, flattening it out with 320 grit. Removing them wee black bits I'm talking about. So I'm really going to have to get that garage cleaned because I do not know where they came from. If you could see, what do I see here? So here at this point, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them just sitting on the surface of the shine. So I'll bring the phone up close here and I'll show these, right? So see if you look there, you can see them 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So if I go lightly over the top of them and using the 320 grit around a wee circular motions, they will disappear, hopefully. Yeah, look, they're disappearing there now. So that's good. That's what we want. So I'm going to put the other camera away here because I'll continue on with live stream part 21. So just going to continue with this bit for a minute. So it would take quite a bit of rubbing to go through to the zinc here because this coat was quite thick that I put on. Okay, so that's that one finished. All the wee black speckles disappeared. We're just going to focus on this one again. I'm happy they're at the top. So what I'm going to do this time, once I put the candy on it, I'm going to put it straight in the oven. I'm not going to bring it out and in. That's perfect there. So as you can see, I have gloves on here because I don't want the moisture of my hands going into the workpiece. So this bit here is also covered in wee marks. I'm not going to bring the phone down close here because it gets in the way. So table squeaky there, isn't it? Need to be careful not to go through here. So lucky they're coming out. So it's just like painting, things can go wrong. Especially when you're live streaming it. So if I look at the bottom of this frame, there shouldn't be any bits on it. Let me see. Well, there actually is. So maybe it was turbulence in the oven, and the fan in the oven was blowing something around the oven. I don't know, but there's a couple of wee bits on it there. Sadly, but they are coming out. Ah, it's heavy. It's heavy enough. Right, where was I? There's a big wasp attracted to the bright colour. So that's okay there now, this one, right? I'll flip it this way. That one's okay too. Now we'll go look at this one. It's okay too. And let's move that shifter before it wrecks it. So we're on to the flat surfaces now, right? So I need to be very careful here not to mark the mirror polish stainless plates. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a wee bit of masking tape over them. So we'll try and keep it maybe about a mil down from the sharp edge, or 2 mil. And that's alright there. Don't want it too high, because if you can imagine, I have sand in this face here, might push the edge up a wee bit, so. Also a wee bit at the back too. Okay, so rough and ready, does it? We'll do this one here too when we're at it. So just to point out here, the top of these mirror polish plates are still covered with the high temperature tape. They will not be removed until the frame's finished all the powder coating stages. So I'm going to cover this bit of mirror too. So we're about 2 mil there. 2 mil in it. Oh dear. So as you can tell, But now I like going to extremes with my projects. And that's why they look different from anything else out there. Back around the other side to continue the sanding process. So hopefully I get this powder coated today, but if not, it doesn't really matter because the moisture can't fall on it because it's powder coated with the white base. So I'm going to start off now working on concentrating, focusing on the faces. The 4 running downhill first. The 4 that will be seen the most. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start with this one. Need to move that on, key. So just to point out, the 4 tubes are done. The 2 interlinking ones and the 2 stabilizer tubes at the sides are completed. So starting off now with this face. So the reason I selected a new bit of sandpaper there because I'm hoping that the grit snatches the little bits that's sitting on the surface that I'm talking about. If not, they will be sanded out. So I'm trying to stay away from edges. Well, I will focus on the edges a wee bit, but I won't be digging in. And I'll be staying away from the likes of this well because sharp edge on it. Well, not a sharp edge, but you know what? There's an edge on it. So there's no orange paint on it as such, but so look at the speckles are coming out there. Great. Great job, great job. Slow process, but you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. So we're going to get a look at this little pulley mechanism here. See if it comes apart here now, right? But I need to make sure that the milk carton doesn't fall over. So I'll take it to the edge of the bench here, right? I need the shifter. So what do we see what happens here? Right, powder coating's tough. It's not like paint, so there now, so see the way it's coming apart. But still, you can still bind stainless. Stainless is you could bind it because of the stresses that the powder coating's like pushing against the stainless together. So what do we see? If I take my time on this. If I bind that, I'm going to have to cut it off. So, wire brush will come in handy too. Oh, Jeffrey, careful. So what do I see if I can get a big wire brush here? Okay, so I've got this, right? I'm just going to set this thinners here. Give us a wee quick look with this. So the reason I'm cleaning this is because, the reason I'm going to clean it is because wee speckles must have been coming off something. And as I say, I don't want to bind this, so I'm just going to dip it again. Can't put oil on it, obviously. So there we go. So rather than cutting this bolt, to have this sitting at the right height in the oven, this frame, I have used this spacer to keep it up tight to the tracking system. So we're going to dip these bearings, this pulley system now into the thinners. So the reason I'm doing that is because we want this nice and free when it's running into the oven from the booth, because there is powder on it from the primer stage and the white base stage. I'm not going to clean this bracket, it doesn't matter about that. I'm going to put this back on the frame actually. So hold on, look at this camera set up here. I'm going to put this back on. So this is the hanger that I created a while back. Okay everyone, so now, oh, I'm going to drop the phone. Start sanding this again. So the spacer itself is okay, I don't need to put that into the... Well, I might just put it on actually to... You know, and the nut also. So the nut, because it was sort of binding up, right? So I need to make sure no oil in my hands from doing that, but there's not, because just the Allen keys and stuff. So I'm just going to hold this frame now with this bracket rather than lifting the frame itself. So we don't want any oil or grease in it. So we're going to focus on here. I'm going to focus here. I have a lot to do, so I'll stop talking for a while. Maybe I should have bought new white powder to do this, you know. He doesn't know where it came from. Same time to get something out here. So I might have to continue this off live stream. Then I'll do the other one later on. Or sorry, not the other one, I'll do the other live stream. So what I'll do is I'll start doing applying the candy powder. I think now, when I come to think of it, I think that those little bits came from the white powder itself. Maybe white powder that I was using for something. But then that wouldn't be the case because they're easily sanded out when you focus on it long enough. So with the edges here, I'm gently just sweeping it. I'm not giving it any deep or vigorous sanding. I'm just sort of skifting over the top of the surface. So this is why you might do the live stream. the other one later on. I might focus on this a bit better without the live stream today, but they are disappearing. They're one there though. I don't know what was I using white powder for last? Did I gather it? I'm not sure. They are disappearing, but they'll disappear alright. But the problem is you could end up going down to zinc. And then we'll just ruin the coat for the candy. And I'll have to just put another plasticky white powder again. But I don't want to do that. I don't have any more time. So if the candies aren't dark enough, you're not going to see anything underneath it anyway. So the white basically makes the candy stand out when the light hits it. Yeah. I'm knackered. I'm knackered again. So last week I done 6 live streams. And I'll tell you, I was drained. On Saturday night. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go get something to eat soon, right? But look, if you look at this box section here, rolling up. If you look at the radius here, I've got this radius, this weld, this plate, this cap, matching the box section. So this radius follows round. So that was the idea from the start. So this radius is sanded, grinded, sanded into the same diameter or radius as this. Yeah. So we gotta prep it into this. So it's a combination of stainless and mild steel because the plate is stainless and this cap is stainless. There's a weld here, obviously you don't see it. So we circular motions here again. So I'm working into this concave corner here, so this surface for the weld that was ground out. So I'm hoping when I powder coat this, well, I'm going to apply the powder in such a way that the powder looks darker at the weld. Yeah, and it looks clear at this point, so it gives it like a candy effect. But I'm just hoping I don't get any more of those little black bits. So if you look here, you can see a wee small minor. I'm hoping the candy covers it. So you want this standing out like all my other projects. You don't want it to look standard. You don't want it to look just like a basic frame, painted frame. You want it looking different, unique. And believe it or not, I woke up in the middle of the night, and what I was going to do here was I thought about it, and it goes, well, I do one side of the frame candy red and do the other side candy purple, blend it in around this point. But I thought, sorry, around this point, but I thought, oh, I'm only causing more heartache for myself. So I sort of went back on that idea. So what I'm trying to say is I could maybe blow the purple powder into this side, right? And say this face and this face, and then go to the other side and blow the candy in this way. Might do it yet, you never know, but well, it's just because I didn't make my mind up on what colour to use. Plus, we could end up making a bee of this thing, so I don't know if I'm going to risk doing that. But you never know, I might. Because at the end of the day, not only is it a project, it's an experiment here. Might just stick to the red candy, we'll see. Be different if it was two flat faces and the powder wasn't going through to the other side. So let's say if I put the powder on this side first, right? This side will have a good coat of red candy on it. But let's say when I go to the other side then, this colour, the purple candy, is coming back on the red and it'll be falling at this point. So that means that this side will look more purple and this side will look red with a bit of purple on top of it. Yeah, so it's hopefully I'm explaining that well, because if you put a board down the middle, maybe something to hide it, but that's just adding more risk into the surface not looking perfect. So say if there's dust or anything on the board or cobwebs, anything, it's just like that fly air, look. I think I'll just stick to one colour, one candy. Candy red. So you can use silver for the base coat too. You can also use chrome, but I like using white. It's just like, I just pick up on using white, and it's what I've always used now. Silver would be okay too, you know, but a bright silver. A chrome would definitely be okay, but I don't like using that chrome powder at all. Plus, see if you put your fingerprints on it, it leaves it dull straight away. It's just too much of a risk using it. So you need to put a lacquer on top of the mirror finish, the chrome colour I'm talking about. If you were to use it for, say, if you wanted to powder coat those scissors or a metal object, you can't just leave it bare. You can't leave it open to the atmosphere because it's easy scratch too, now chrome powder and stuff, you can see it. But if you put a lacquer coat on top of it using the powder, you'll be alright. So we're about an orange powder down this side, but that doesn't matter because a wee scuff this sandpaper will flatten it out. So let's go on there now. So we're doing well here. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to go get some date. It's an hour, we're running an hour there now. Well, I'll keep it going yet, a wee minute. So I still need to do the inside of this frame yet. I need to do them faces. So if we look here at the top of this plate, right? I'll bring her up nice and close there. I don't know if you can see them, right? But there's a black mark there, a wee speckle. So I'm going to show removing that. This obviously come from maybe the oven. I thought I hoovered the oven out. see that one today there, the door will go down when I'm doing the candy anyway. So working up onto the well there too. So those wee speckles are disappearing. Gone. See what there in the well. So see down that side there, you can see a wee bit too. One point you need to be very careful here, as I say, is these edges, so especially this part here. So if I started rubbing there now, we'll just see the grey straight away. The zinc. Okay. So we'll about run it down an hour and a half. Just gently going over the curve here, Dave. So a new bit of sandpaper rather than trying to dig into the surface. We don't want to push them bits in any further. Not that it's soft, but you know what I mean. It's a slow process, isn't it? Oh dear, I'm wrecked. So see here, look, let me see. So there we have the rivet nuts. That's just dust, the powder lying there to sand it. But there we have the rivet nuts for the feet. I might just screw this one up a wee bit further, down a wee bit. But okay, everyone. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to maybe go and get something to eat right now. But I'm just hoping I don't get these black bits again, because I'm going to have to hoover this out. You see this? I don't know where they came from. Never happened before. Maybe they were in the powder. I don't know. I didn't know anymore. So see there, the way the grey is starting to come through. Well, it's not coming through, but you can see a wee tint of it. I'm not going to be sanding that anymore now because of that. So when I powder coat that, and let's say the candy flows over the top of that, That grey part will look a wee bit darker than beside it, but you won't notice it. Yeah. I'm not going to be going to any more effort here, applying more white powder. So the problem is here, it's the speckles. Not bad, but it's not bad. As I say, you're not going to see it below the candy. I'll put it on dark. It's thick. Being careful here. You end up in a hamlin. Scratch the mirror for one. Okay, everyone. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump off. I'm going to focus on this with no live stream in a wee while. I might start the live stream up again if people want me to do that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. But anyway, there will be a live stream continuing later on or tomorrow with the applying the candy. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it today because I want to get this right. If by 3 o'clock, 3 hours time after it gets on date here, it does turn out well and there's no problems, I will apply the red candy. But let's say now if I'm sanding this and I go too far or clip an edge or something, I will have to apply a wee bit of white powder on that part again. Let's say if I clip this corner. But I can do that before I put the red candy on. But we'll see the crack, we'll see how it goes. But as I say, if you look here, see the grey tinge coming through. I just need to be careful. That'll not matter, you're never going to see it. But, you know what I mean? I have to be careful. You know, might put a wee bit on that again, we'll see the crack. But I'm going to go and get some date here now. And I'll maybe do another live stream later on. So thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.